Today we are taking on the challenge of rebuilding Real Betis, a team who've had a decent season. They've made, of course, the European final, the Conference League final, and played against Chelsea. At the time of recording, this game is just about to start, so it's not yet been played, but I want to take over this side with the likes of the GOAT Antony, 24 years old, 78 rated. Maybe we can revive his career like he did in real life and grow him to a star in this side. We're gonna see if we can do that. We've got talents like Altimira, 22, 76 rated. Striker, we have got Cucho, who's actually only on the bench, I don't know why, but he will start ahead of Bakambu, who's already quite old. We've got the talent like Rodriguez, who's only 68 rated though. Roca is not too bad. Bartra, former Barcelona player, he's 33 though. Lorente is 79 rated. Pero at left back, not too bad. And Ruibal at right back, not too bad either. The problem zone is certainly the goalkeeper. Adrian, already 74 rated. We've got Vietes, but he's only 72. And two young ones who are only 57 each rated. With this Real Betis side, we are going to play tiki-taka. I wanna dominate the games here in La Liga. Real Betis did have a good season, finishing 6th in, of course, La Liga and in a Europa League spot, so that is where they will be next season. Of course, this is still the 24-25 season. We will be in the Europa League in this one. There are also a few players that are out on loan from us to another club, but also players like Nathan and of course the GOAT Antony. I'm gonna find him. Here of course he is, both on loan to us. Iglesias is on loan to Celta. We've got Rui Silva, the best keeper, on loan to Sporting. But yes, we need to find a solution certainly for that goalkeeping spot. The money is not really there as well. 16 million at Real Betis is not a lot. We need to sell some players, I can see already. We have made around 85 million in terms of transfers out. I'm gonna show you what we've done exactly. Of course, we've sold the likes of Fran Vietes for 3.5 million. Aitor Ruibal goes to Crystal Palace for 10. Yusuf Sabali, the other right back, to Brighton. Mark Bartra to West Ham United. We still got 7.7 million out of a 33-year-old. Cedric Bakambu goes to Como. Of course, also 33. Not a lot of views and only going down. Same as William Carvalho, who was at one point a very good player in FIFA, but now he's gone to Arsenal. Gets a big move. 19 million into our books. Mateo Flores also 1.6 million going to Montpellier. And then another big one, Hector Bellerin to Olympique Lyon in, of course, France for 11 million. But now we need to fill up the gaps that those players have left. And so as our first signing, we are going in for a player was on loan to us. You guys guessed it. The GOAT coming in for a huge wage cut. It is, of course, Antony joining us from Manchester United. A cut price deal, 25 million, just 2 million above his market value. We are making a big upgrade in between the goalposts, bringing in a player from a relegation-threatened club in Espanyol. It's going to be Juan Garcia joining us from the Barcelona club for 37 million. What we still need now is a better right back, because we've of course sold 2 right backs. Otherwise this team is looking good. Isco is also coming on with age, but still in here for at least one more season. Cardozo and Altimira forming a good CDM partnership. The centre backs we are going to look into. Nathan still only on loan. I messed up a deal for him, but oh well. We are looking for a right back. That is our final job for now. Last but not least, with our last scraps of money, because we had to play the release clause, otherwise we wouldn't have got this guy. Our new right back, Ivan Fresneda, coming in for 18.7 million from Sporting. He's getting the levels up on the right back spot, of course. 19 years old, 74 rated. Otherwise, yes, we have Antony, who was already at the club, already up to 79, and Garcia, 81 rated. In that, I'm really excited to see how this team can perform in both the league and also the conference. It's the end of season 1 and we've finished exactly where Real Betis have finished in real life, in 6th position on 64 points. Real Madrid, the clear runaway champions ahead of Atletico and Barcelona. The cup goes to Valencia over Real Madrid, whilst we've been beaten by Real Madrid, the finalists, in the round of 32. Let's have a look at European competitions where Leverkusen, against all odds, have won the Champions League over Manchester City. That's crazy in Season 1. The Europa League goes to Besiktas over Porto, kind of cracked as well. And even the Conference League is a little bit cracked. Panathinaikos, another Greek team, winning it over Fiorentina, who come out as losers again. Cucho is really the only guy who delivered 30 goals in 50 appearances, but then the second most is Antony, with 8 goals, so 22 goals less than Cucho. That is crazy. 8 for Alzuli and 8 for Isco and Lo Celso as well. We'll need to change a few things in this team, I am of the impression. Certainly, Lorente will need to get replaced. Roca will also get replaced himself. Probably even by Altimira, who is on loan right now. Of course, I nearly forgot, we were of course also in the Conference League. Where did it go wrong? Those 12 in the league phase, but we already lost to Molde in the playoff round. Well, that was not great. Not the greatest of first seasons, I'm not gonna lie. 6th in the Liga is not too bad though, we can build on that in Season 2. I finally got a good budget though, 70 million for Season 2. We've added to that money, in fact we've nearly doubled it. Getting out people like Fornals to Napoli, Ricardo Visus, Juanmi, we've got Alex Collado. I didn't realize he has actually joined Sevilla, so he'll be a hated man at Betis. But Diego Lorente, that's the biggest one yet. 22 million, leaving for Atletico Madrid at the age of 31. Couldn't say no to such an offer. And Borja Iglesias also, at the age of 32, leaving Mallorca. The old guard, leaving the club. It's obvious where we need to strengthen the centre-back position. Llorente has left. Arribas isn't even a centre-back, really. He's a makeshift one in this case. Rodriguez will retire at the end of the season, so we'll need to bring in 2 centre-backs at the very best. So first off, we bring in a player whose contract was expiring. He's only 25, from the Netherlands, actually, playing in Italy. But not anymore, as he's now joined us from Torino. Per Schurz it is, for 20 million. A new centre-back couple. I've used none of these two before. Not sure is that not the one that I've signed just right now. As we need to strengthen the back line, and what better option to do it than with Edmond Tapsoba. 42 million for the centre-back from Leverkusen. Now that is already a much better looking back line. Schurz is 25, Tapsoba 26, 84 rated, Schurz is 80 rated. Those two have really helped us. Garcia already up to an 86 overall, by the way. A very good team. Altimira back from his loan move, 80 rated. Cardozo 82. Alzuli 80 rated. Isco still the captain, 83. And Cucho, the Colombian, up top, 82 rated. He scored all the goals. Let's hope that will continue like that. So, and we finish in the top 4. We will be in the Champions League in Season 3 already. 10 losses. But 23 wins, 74 points, 1 ahead of Barcelona and 5 ahead of Real Madrid in 6th only. El Clásico Copa de España final goes to Barcelona over Real Madrid. We have once again been knocked out in the round of 32 by Mirandes this time from the 2nd division. That's not good. It's an all-English affair this year as Newcastle United get their first ever big European crown over Arsenal. The Europa League again goes to England, to Liverpool over Brest. Who doesn't like a bit of Brest? And Bergamo Calcio, aka Atalanta, win the Conference League over Olympique Marseille. Of course, we've once again been, this time, in the Europa League, where we finished in 10th, then went to the playoff round, and again we lost in the playoffs to Gladbach this time. Just like last season, Cucho is again the leader in terms of stats. 27 goals for him, as Alzuli has stepped his game up this season. 24 for him, and then 12 and 5 for Isco, who has begun to go down in his overall, down to an 81. Good news, we will be playing Champions League football in season number 3 already. Bad news is, some of the players are aging, like Isco, even his replacement Lo Celso. We will need to make some huge, major improvements to compete in the biggest club competition there is. Again, we do have 114 million in our budget, which is A lot, absolutely. I found a free agent centre back, 18 years of age, already 80 rated. He might not start the first season, but he will certainly replace one of the centre backs down the line. An Italian player by the name of Antonio Sala, the regen here, coming into Real Betis for €0. Well, okay, Giovanni Lo Celso, Iker Losada and Isco, 3 camps have all been sold. So that we can now have, actually, Losada's release clause had been met, 35 million, not too bad. Isco 25 and Lo Celso's 47 million. We've got 200 million in the bank now to go after another can. We've gone to the Saudi Pro League for our next signing, our first signing with money here in Season 3. Bringing back a Spaniard, the former player of La Liga. Back to La Liga, he's only 24, he went for the big bags. Now he's coming back to Sevilla, to Betis. Gabri Veiga joining us from Al-Ali for 50 million. We've then gone on and signed 23-year-old, 83 rated left back Alvaro Carreras from Benfica, because we wanted an upgrade on Peru, our former left back, 28, 78 rated. This one is a big one. I'm happy with how the defense is looking. Midfield mostly alright as well, but Altamira, I don't know. We at least need a center defensive midfielder on the bench, because we haven't got any, even a winger. We haven't got any wingers on the bench either, so we need to work on that. So last but not least, we bring in a CDM who used to play as a centre back, even on this game, but now he seems to be a CDM. I don't know what goes on there. If any of you guys know why Zeno De Bast is not a centre back anymore, but yeah, he's listed as a CDM and he comes in from Sporting, our second signing from them for 44 million. Bast is a +2 on Altamira, who is now a good addition to the bench, just like Salah, at least one centre back on the bench. Shurs, Tapsoba still the starters, at least for now. Carreras, the new left back, and of course Veiga, the new cam. We've changed this team a lot this season. Garcia up to an 89, our highest rated player. I don't know if Antony and Al-Zalzuli will grow more, especially Antony, who's now 26, but he is the GOAT. I have faith in him, at least for now. At the end of the day, we've also sold Romain Perraud to Fiorentina for 20 million after signing. Halfway stage of Season 3, we are in a title race with Barcelona and Real Madrid. Atletico Madrid already 6 points off us. We are on the same points as Madrid, 2 points off Barcelona. In the Champions League, we've had 4 wins and 4 losses, 0 draws, 15th spot on 12 points. We have to go through the playoff round where we are facing Inter. That is going to be a tough one. So, we're about to travel to Milan, to San Siro, Giuseppe Meazza, and we get a 1-0 win up there with the only goal of the game. Second leg at home at Benito Villamarin. And it's a 0-0 draw, no goals, 1-0 win on aggregate. We move to the round of 16. Well done, boys. It's the round of 16 facing Liverpool at home in the first leg. And it's a 3-1 win, actually. Cucho with a brace and Gabri Veiga with a goal. Soboslai gave them one back late on. Second leg away from home at Anfield. Can we confirm our spot in the quarters? We lose 2-1, but we win 4-3 on aggregate. From here on out, it doesn't get any easier. Facing PSG in the quarterfinals, first leg at home, and we lose 2-1. Vlahovic and Lee Kangin with the goals up. They gave us one back. Now, it would be great if we were to turn things around. I'm not getting my hopes up, though, and we lose again. Antony scores, Cucho scores, but we still lose 3-2. Pedri is on PSG as well, crazy. Finish in third place at the end of Season 3. We will be in the Champions League once again. In Season 4, 82 points, which is great, 25 wins out of 38 games. Only 3 points off Real Madrid in first and Barcelona in second. We were so close. Then we do win our very first trophy of this rebuild, defeating Celta in the Copa de España final, 2-1. In the end, the Champions League goes to Manchester City on penalties over Atletico Madrid. Barcelona win the Europa League over Union Saint-Gilloise from Belgium. And the Conference League goes to Bologna from Italy over Spurs. Cucho stepped his game up another level. 39 goals, 7 assists, 26 for Al-Zalzuli, who is up to an 86 as well. Veiga has grown massively. Antony up to an 83. Cardozo then even up to an 88 overall. Antony with 13 goals, 7 assists, a good season for him. A great season for both Al-Zuli and Veiga. And a phenomenal one for Cucho. Squad is looking very, very nice. Garcia, for some reason, is unhappy. I don't know why. Salah up to an 85 overall. Tapsoba 85 and Schulz 85. But Salah is only 20 years old. Crazy depth at centre back. We are consistently in the top 4 now for the second time in a row, third, very close to first, and not even winning our first title. Champions League, we've made a deep run. We are on a very good track. We do have around 141 million to spend in season number 4. And our first signing of this season is a backup striker. He's 26, coming from the MLS. He's around 80 rated, Kevin Denke, the perfect backup striker, 26 million from FC Cincinnati. His contract was also expiring. This season is where we are stacking up the bench. Bringing in a new cam, Spanish speaking as well, from the Premier League. Is Julio Enciso joining us from Brighton for 36.5 million. With this comes the sale of Manu Gonzalez, third string goalkeeper to Sturm Graz in Austria, and Jesus Rodriguez gets another loan move. Maybe he will take over from the GOAT Antony in the future. He's 21.78 overall. We've not changed anything to the starting 11. Antony may be the weakest thing in this team, but he's still only 27 and he's the GOAT, so we're not replacing him. Otherwise, this team is low-key stacked, I'm not going to lie. Vega 86, there's Alzuli 86, we've got Cucho at 87, Debas, Cardozo, Sala, Tapsoba, even the fullbacks, Carreras and Fresneda, the Spanish fullbacks, and another Spanish goalkeeper. A Spanish contingency in this squad is big, and we've of course only strengthened the bench, and Sisu and Denke are going to make this team much stronger. As Impact quite good at the halfway point of season number 4. In third position, but 7 points of Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid and Barcelona behind us. We are still somewhat in a title race. It's in the Champions League, we finished in the top 4. Fourth position, 18 points. Marseille have won the league phase, but we get to skip the playoffs. In the round of 16, we are facing the Dutch side, Feyenoord. First away from home, and we win 3-1. Up there with a hat-trick, that is crazy. The second leg time at home, we should easily walk through this, and we do. 2-1 win, 5-2 on aggregate. We are in the quarterfinals. By the minute here, as we are facing Liverpool in the quarterfinals, away from home first, and we win 3-0. I didn't expect that. Cucho with a brace and Johnny with the other goal. We're absolutely tearing Liverpool apart. It is second leg time at home at the Benito Villamarin. 3-3, a crazy game. Osimhen with a brace, but Cucho, Abde and Gabri Vega score for us. 6-3 on aggregate, we are in the semis. In the Champions League semi-final, we had to face the kings of Europe, Real Madrid. First at home, and we lose 3-1. Mbappe, Pedro Porro and Mbappe again. We are about to be knocked out here. Bar a miracle, we will be out and Real Madrid to the final, and so it is. Up there with an equalizer, but 4-2 on aggregate. Madrid in the final. We fall in the semis. At the end of the season, we only finish in 5th place, 72 points, just behind Barcelona, who finish in the Champions League spot. Real Sociedad and Real Madrid on same points in 3rd and 2nd, and Atletico Madrid are the champions of La Liga. We've, by the way, also lost the Supercopa final to Real Madrid comprehensively 3-0. In the final of the Copa de España, it is Atletico Madrid doing the double over Barcelona. We have been beaten in the quarters by Atletico Madrid. In the end, the Champions League does go to Real Madrid. A crazy Champions League final, shall I add. Over AC Milan 4-3. Chelsea win a London derby over Spurs in the Europa League. The Conference League goes to Germany, to Hoffenheim over Real Sociedad. Again delivering, still growing at the age of 29, 89 rated, 31 goals, 5 assists, 18 and 17 for Alzuli, who is also doing very well. Vega with 15 and 12, same can be said about him. And even Denke, 18 appearances, 11 goals from the bench, is very, very good. We have done really well for ourselves in the Champions League, however in the league, we unfortunately have fallen behind all the others. 5th position, which usually means that we will not be playing Champions League football in Season 5, which is very unfortunate, though well. Even though we are in the Europa League in Season 5, we still have around 150 million to spend. So at the start of Season 5, we bring in a high-profile Portuguese defender, centre-back, because Per Schurz wanted to leave the club. He didn't get enough game time. We bring in a player, same rating, same overall, but a lot younger. Renato de Oliveira joining us for 55 million plus Per Schurz from Porto. We've then gone on and sold Lucas Alcarzar, so we probably need a new backup left back. He's only 72 rated at the age of 26. And so, at left back, we've gone in for a Spaniard. Another Spaniard in this team, coming from the Premier League. For Bournemouth to be exact, Hugo Bueno, 35 million he cost us. Coming in, he actually plays for Wolves in real life if I'm not mistaken. And so this is the team again. We didn't do anything to the starting 11. I don't think we need to, but Oliveira on the bench will probably push for that starting 11. Otherwise, of course, Bueno coming in here. He's really good, 82 rated at the age of 25. Even Rodriguez coming back from loan, he's only 22, 80 rated. Antony has to be careful of him. But yeah, Antony's still growing as well, 28, 84 rated. A bit lacking behind. Still, I'm gonna trust my guy here on the right midfield spot. Of course, we cannot even complete the rebuild this season as we are at the end of season 5 and we finally done it. We are the champions of La Liga, 2 points ahead of Barcelona, 8 ahead of Real Madrid. Real Betis are the new top dogs in Spain, 90 points as well. We cannot defend our title in the Copa de España as we get knocked out 7-5 on aggregate in the semis to Real Madrid, who also go on and win the final on penalties against City rivals Atletico. The Champions League goes to Juventus over PSG. We've of course been in the Europa League where we finished first in the league phase, went straight to the round of 16 where we defeat Braga. Quarters, we absolutely trash Stuttgart 6-1. We then go on and beat Lazio to qualify for the final against Ajax. And we defeat the Dutch as well, 2-1 in the final of the Europa League. We have our first European title. Finally, Manchester United win something in the Conference League against Copenhagen. 44 goals by Cucho this season, crazy. 50 contributions in 57 appearances. 45 contributions for Gabri Veiga, 26 goals, 19 assists, and 42 for Ezal Zuli, who is up to a 90. Veiga as well, and Cucho up to a 92. However, even though he grew by 2, I would have loved to see more from Antony. 7 goals, 6 assists is not great. We've won a couple of trophies this season, La Liga as well as the Europa League, even the semis of Copa del Rey. We are ready to compete in the Champions League again. We've got an absolute super squad right now. Many players in their 90s, especially the front players, even the midfield players. Cardozo, Debas, 91, 90 rated. Veiga, 90. Ezal Zuli, 90. We've got the Cucho at a 92, our highest rated player with Garcia in net. Antony is now 29, he's 86 rated. I'm not so sure if we set all our hopes into him or if we go for an upgrade. Otherwise, Tapsoba is, of course, 30 years old. But we've got De Oliveira, who has the same overall and 23 years old. Carrera still 26. The backline looking very, very nice as well. We've, by the way, also got 156 million in our bank. We've only gone and signed a backup goalkeeper, 18 years of age, from Switzerland, probably the Jan Sommer region. Already 80 rated, Dennis Fischer coming in from Monza for 53 million. Of course, we've still got Silva as a backup. He's slightly higher rated, but also 35 years old. We have then gone on and sold Rui Silva for 5.2 million to Atletico Madrid. I'm still continuing to strengthen the bench of this team, bringing in a player from Saudi Arabia, 20 years of age. I really didn't want him to play in Saudi Arabia, so I brought him over. Branislav Jovanovic, a CDM for 36 million coming in from Al Nassr. Completing the squad depth job, bringing in a final player, centre-back from Dinamo Zagreb of all clubs, but he's a Spaniard. Keeping that Spanish contingency going, bringing in Emiliano Mosquera for 37 million. Both Mosquera and Jovanovic are of course only going to be backup, only on the reserves here. But we've built an absolute super squad, bench, reserves, and certainly, most of all, the starting 11. Absolutely brilliant. We are facing Juventus in the UEFA Super Cup. First competitive game of the season. We get the W. Carreras and Ciso end up there with the goals. We win 3-1 after extra time and clean sweep in second place again at the halfway point of the season number 6. 43 points, 2 points behind Villarreal with a game in hand. And we are finishing 10th place in the Champions League phase, just about missing out on goal difference on the top 8. I mean, it was really, really tight. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams on 14 points, which is crazy. But in the playoff round, we are facing Arsenal, of course, a tough nut to crack. Let's see how things go here. Way at the Arsenal Stadium. It's a 2-all draw. Johnny Cardozo and Enciso with the goals. Second leg of the playoff round against Arsenal at home, and we win, but just about on penalties. Stenky saved us. 4 goals in extra time. Crazy game, 3-all after 120 minutes. Stenky actually with a brace and scoring also his penalty. Antony scored as well. Every one of our players scored their penalties. Facing AC Milan in the first leg of the round of 16 at home at the Benito Villamarin, and drawing 2-all. Antony with a brace, not bad. Facing Milan away from home in the second leg, and it's a 3-0 win. Absolutely dominating. Gabri Veiga with a brace and Antony with another goal. 3 goals in 2 games for him. Moving into the quarterfinals, facing Feyenoord from the Netherlands. Away from home in the first leg. One player was suspended, one of the CDMs, but still we get the win. Helped by a early red card for Feyenoord in the 15th minute. Gabri Veiga and Abde score our goals. We win 2-1. Against an underdog like Feyenoord, we must make it into the next round, into the semi-finals, and we do. Absolutely dismantling them, 5-1. Abde with a brace, Veiga with a brace, Cucho with a goal. Absolutely dominating, 7-2 on aggregate. We are just 2 steps away from a possible Champions League final, facing Manchester City in the semis. That is a big fish. Away from home we win. Antony and Enciso, who came from the bench for Gabri Veiga, scores the winner in the 85th minute. We have a huge advantage going into the second leg at home. We've already been at this particular semi-final Champions League stage a couple of seasons ago, getting narrowly knocked out, but this will not happen this time. At the Estadio Benito Villamarin, facing Manchester City and winning on penalties. That is incredible. We've missed a couple of penalties, but how did this even happen? Antony, of course, again equalized for us after City take the lead. Haaland scores for City, but at the end of the day, Haaland misses his penalty. Hunter and Foden miss as well. It's a penalty miss festival. In the end, we win 3-1 on penalties and move in a particular dramatic fashion into the Champions League final. And in the Champions League final, we'll face Chelsea, a remake of the Conference League final of this year. Comes in handy, as it's, I think, the first time ever I'm facing Chelsea in such a final. We have won back-to-back La Ligas, 5 points ahead of Barcelona. That is what you love to see. Sevilla, our rivals, in 3rd place. We've definitely been better than Sevilla over the course of this rebuild. Just look at Real Madrid all the way down in 7th on 62 points. That is atrocious. Real Madrid, though, win the Copa de España, all for being that atrocious in the league. They've at least won a trophy. Whilst here we've been knocked out by Levante in the round of 32. I think Levante are in the 2nd division. Other European competitions, Leipzig win the Europa League over Spurs, and the Conference League goes to Liverpool over Villarreal. We have built an absolute super team here. Cucho with 31 goals in 43 appearances, 19 and 16 for Veiga, 14 for Denki in 20 games, which is crazy. 12 and 9 for Antony, who has stepped his game up to an 87 overall. I wouldn't have thought at the beginning he would be here at the end of the rebuild, but 12 and 15 for Ezalzuli as well, as 10 goals for Enciso. A lot of players with double-digit goals, actually 6 players in the whole squad, which is not too bad. Even Rodriguez and Carreras have got their fair shares of goal contributions. However, now it is time for Chelsea against Real Betis, remake of the Conference League final, at the Estadio Metropolitano in Madrid, the Atletico Stadium. Here we go, Palmer on the attack, still playing for Chelsea, playing it into Isak, who's already created a big chance at the start of the game. Playing in between the lines, here is Zeno de Bast with a first shot. Good tackle. Here is Cucho, our star striker, Cucho Hernandez, turning his man, Cucho, going for it! And scoring an absolute belter after turning his man. Not even going into the box. Cucho Hernandez is 92 rated for a reason, going all by himself. He was far off the 16-yard box, but smashes it into the top corner. Here go Chelsea trying to respond, but Cardozo doing well. And now Abde, again, with an opportunity to go forward. He's so direct. Abde is Al-Zuli, and Cucho! Cucho makes it 2-0. Within 5 minutes, we've absolutely turned the game on its head. Chelsea were the dominant side at the start. They've had a chance after 2 minutes. Could have gone ahead, but now it is Real Betis striking first and second. We are playing the Real Betis way here. The way we've set up to play is tiki-taka with a few actions of star power. And look at this tiki-taka. Cucho again released. This time the keeper makes a big save. Tapsoba now losing the ball easily as Isak gets played in, but a save, a big save by our keeper. Mavisa the centre-back, playing in Isak, and now another save by the keeper. Here is Gabri Veiga, the playmaker of this side again. Looking for Abde, looking for Johnny. This is Johnny, good save. Here's Fresneda. In the second half we are playing more of a counter-attacking style of play, but Fresneda still bringing his opponents to the knees. This is Fresneda, who nearly made it 3-0. Want to see the likes of De Oliveira, even, let's see, maybe, I don't know, Almira for De Bast. Otherwise, I'm going to stay with these guys. Abdes Al-Zuli, looking back for Carreras. Carreras for Cardoso. This is Johnny! What a shot! Oh, Gabri with a bad challenge here from behind. That was absolutely unnecessary, and I think I know what this is going to be. Yes, a red card. Gabri Veiga sent off. They've got Humphreys. Now Pritchard. Pritchard gets them going back. He gets them 1 goal back. Good shot by Pritchard. 2-1 after 84 minutes. Still not done and dusted. We have to be really, really careful now as Cucho looks for Antony here on the wing. Antony going for it. Antony still. This is Cucho. Cucho. This is the decider. We decided not to sit back, go for it, not let Chelsea touch the ball after they've equalized, after they've got one back. And now we have pulled away 3-1. Cucho Hernandez with a hat-trick. An unbelievable, incredible, unforgettable performance by Cucho Hernandez, the Colombian, who makes it 3 goals in a Champions League final. This should about be it. Chelsea still knocking the ball, about 2 minutes of added on time. As they go forward, ball gets cut out, still gets back to Vargas, who nearly got Chelsea another goal back, but he puts it over the bar. Anyways, that goal, even if it would have gone in, was a good shot, to be fair, but wouldn't have changed anything on the outcome, because there is only one team that is going to lift this Champions League tonight. And it is not Chelsea, it is Real Betis, as now the game has come to its conclusion. Real Betis fans are out of their minds as their team has won the first ever Champions League for a club from Sevilla. Cucho with hat-trick, Pritchard with 1 goal back. The wrong graphic there, but it doesn't matter. The outcome is the same. The rebuild is done and dusted. Betis are on top, not only of Spain back-to-back, but on top of Europe. Guys, my job is done. For me to get some recognition of you guys would mean the world to me. So please, by all means, subscribe to the channel, put a like on the video, and also tell me in the comments what else you'd like to see next. I can only say, enjoy the celebrations with Real Betis, the Champions League celebrations. I'm going to say goodbye. Have a wonderful rest of your day as Johnny Cardoso, the OG Real Betis player, is lifting the Champions League. Until next time, it's been Rebuild Sombrero. I'm out.